part of the Small Business Contracting Forum, where you get to hear from professionals. We've got a panel of professionals with 15 to 20 years experience in IT and technology. My name is Linda Hill. I'm with the Small Minority Business Resources Department, and I will be your moderator today. So first, we're going to start off by going around and having each of our speakers just do a quick introduction, like 1 to 2 minutes, just to give you like a taste and feel for who's on the panel. Okay, we're going to start with Mr. Chris Stewart.
Hi, my name is Chris Stewart. I'm the Interim Chief Information Officer for the City of Austin. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran. I've served with the city for a little over 20 years. I've served with Austin Energy and their IT department early on in my career. Spent a lot of time supporting public safety agencies, Austin Water as their CIO, supported City Hall, and since September served in my current role as interim CIO. CTM, as we call it, is the Communications Technology Management, or the IT department for the City of Austin. We support most of the city, especially those departments that don't have their own larger IT groups, and we're responsible for the technology of the City of Austin. So I'm happy to be here and talk to you all.
Thanks, Chris, and thank you for your service. Next, we have Ms. Karika Lakey from Austin Energy. Karika, if you could just kind of give us a quick introduction and tell us about what's going on with you at Austin Energy. Karika, you're on mute still.
Good morning. My name is Karika Lakey. I'm an IT division manager for Austin Energy with a focus on business and quality management initiatives. Austin Energy is the municipally owned electric utility for the City of Austin. We are a department of the City of Austin. My current focus here at Austin Energy focuses on technology vendor management, technology service validation and testing, and other IT quality initiatives.
All right, thank you, Karika. And Stephen, if you could unmute. And Stephen Elkins, Stephen Elkins is the brainchild of this opportunity. And Stephen is with Microsoft. And Stephen, if you could just let us know, tell us a little bit about what you're doing and what's going on with you at Microsoft.
Sure, absolutely. So thank you, Blender. So my name is Stephen Elkins. I am the client director for the state of Texas at Microsoft. Work with state, local government, all the state agencies, and large city counties. And so again, our role is to really look and see how we can help the government agencies achieve their goals, leveraging Microsoft technology and services. Prior to that, I worked with both Karika and Chris, my previous role at the City of Austin. And before that, I worked 17 years in the semiconductor industry. And Microsoft has a big emphasis on partnering. We even carry quota on how many leads we need to generate to our partners.
Thanks, Stephen. And we're so happy that you're able to participate in our panel today. And so next we have Mr. Chester Soares with Cap Metro. Chester, if you can just give us a quick introduction and let us know a little bit about what your background is.
Hi, my name is Chester Soares. I'm the Director of Enterprise Applications and Data Services at Capital Metro. So I head the Enterprise Application and Data Services area, wherein we provide all the software and systems administratively that runs Capital Metro. And Capital Metro, as whoever is residing in Austin should know, is the transportation provider for Capital Metro. It's a public transit organization. And I'm in IT. And in IT, we have different divisions in IT. I had one of them. We have the network and the server division, and we have the transit systems division. So all this put together, and we also have the PMO. So all this put together in our IT division, headed by our CIO, Jane Schroeder, who could not be today at this panel.
Yes, thank you, Chester, for stepping in for Jane. And is your PMO, is that like a project management organization? Is that what PMO stands for?
Yes, it's a project management organization. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, you guys, I want to just kind of go around and have you all just speak to the IT opportunities that you have within your organization. If there's any tech or IT opportunities or any non-traditional tech or IT opportunities, like what kind of things is your organization working on as far as technology and IT that you would like to share with business owners as we're having our tech talk this morning? Chester, since I've got you unmuted, would you like to start?
Yeah, so what we have in 2021, we have a variety of different projects that may lead to procurement. We have large complex procurement projects that are like bus and rail dispatch systems, fare box and vaulting system, enterprise resource planning system that RF has already been released, data warehouse and business intelligence system coming up, customer relationship management system. We also have moderately sized infrastructure lifecycle replacement systems like laptops, routers, servers, displays, audiovisual equipment, identity access management. And then we have the smaller ones, smaller contracts, such as Microsoft products and SharePoint services, ridership data services, facilities cabling services.
All right, thank you for that, Chester. And as you mute, we'll go on to Ms. Carica and just talk about systems and what you have going on for Austin Energy as far as what small business owners need to know as far as upcoming opportunities.
Sure. So for upcoming opportunities, a lot of our items are focused on staff augmentation, as well as looking for value-added resellers for our commodity technology. So things in security, networking, other small commodities. Those are opportunities that will be out there shortly. We're always looking for managed services for particular types of technology. So more of those types of RFPs and solicitations will be released shortly.
All right, thank you for that, Carica. So it sounds like between Cap Metro and Austin Energy, we've got some opportunities going on. And then Chris, I know that with you and working at CTM, since you are over all technology at the city, and that you mainly work with like the smaller departments that don't have like their own technology department, can you speak to what you see overall with the city and technology departments or technology opportunities?
Sure. I think along with Carica, she spoke to some of the major ways that we use these resources. A lot of it is through our managed services. A lot of it's through our staff augmentation. That's a really big one because we really need folks to come in and help us out getting these services deployed quickly. We may not have the FTEs to always do it. We may have specialty areas where it's easier and quicker and frankly cheaper for us to go out and grab specialized, trained folks who have expertise in an area instead of going and hiring that when we need it for a very particular project or just a moment in time. So those are definitely some areas that we see these being used. And then of course, even our larger RFPs, our SMBR folks really look at goals for us to make sure that we're reaching out to these businesses. So making sure that you're aware with what RFPs are out there, even if they seem colossal, they always have goals that are met. And very, very often, those larger vendors want to partner with you. They want to partner with these smaller organizations. They want to partner with organizations in Austin in particular, or minority businesses. They want to partner with you. They want to be able to meet those goals. They have to be able to meet those goals to participate in our RFPs. Working with Department of Information Resources with Texas is a big one. They can help, again, meet those goals. So those are really areas to focus on as we continue to roll out technology to the city.
Yes, Chris, you brought up some interesting facts, and you're right. At Small Minority Business Resources, we do set the goals, and we do try to work with our business owners and the bidders and proposers to meet the goals or to do the good faith efforts. And I'm going to kind of segue a little bit here after your comments, and just to talk to Stephen. And I want to know, like, if we can just talk a little bit about, like, you talked about Microsoft and their value for partnerships. How can a smaller business or business owner engage with Microsoft? What would you tell them on engagement?
So let me start by saying the folks who are on this call, Chester, Chris, and Karika, they're all customers of Microsoft, right? So we don't have opportunities that we're going to generate. We're going to try to the opportunities that was just discussed. If there's an opportunity for Microsoft to participate in that, then we would want to partner with someone to help deliver on what some of the projects, programs that they're looking at implementing. And it's the folks on the call. It's also Travis County. It's also the state agencies. Whatever opportunities are out there that we're aware of, then we would like to partner with the local businesses. Likewise, if there's an opportunity that you're interested in and it's a fit for Microsoft, we'd like to partner with you on that as well. And Microsoft has a department specifically designed for onboarding partners. And so if you're, if you know who, I guess you could email me and ask what that process is, and then I would put you in contact with the right person if it feels like it's a good fit. A lot of times there's projects that Microsoft work on, and it's actually through a partner. It's not through Microsoft. One, because resource availability. Secondly, cost. But again, we go in and partner, and we'll try to deliver the services or products that are being requested. You're muted, Blender.
Thanks for that, Stephen Elkins. Sorry about that. For everybody who's watching, we are also going to put together kind of a guide or resource guide with the contact information of the organizations and who you need to contact, or the process of how to get engaged. So like for Cap Metro, if it's a website, we'll have that website. For City of Austin projects, if the vendor connection with our purchasing, we'll have those links on it, so you can go ahead and register on those links, and we'll point to where you need to go to get involved. And even with Texas Department of Information Resources that Chris Stewart offered or mentioned earlier. We had another partner, Project Connect, that couldn't be with us today. We will also share that information, and we hope that that person will be able to join us on Wednesday. They're just under the weather today. Okay, so the next question I have are, just wanted to go around, and I'll leave this as open-ended, but what are your biggest needs that you see? And just let me know who wants to respond to that.
Blender, this is Karika. I'll take a shot at that. So the needs are broad. You know, we've all talked about the different programs and projects that we're executing. They range from expertise in networking and cybersecurity, all our different enterprise applications, things like Workday, the Microsoft platform, things we have with IBM and Oracle. So there's not just one need. It's really full range. It just depends on what program or initiatives are front and center for a particular point in time, or a particular fiscal year, is how many of our departments run. I would say that analytics is really big now. People are looking at AI, but I think our focus, at least at Austin Energy, still is on core analytics and making sure that we understand the trends and how we can expose the data to our internal and external customers, leveraging all the latest techniques and using things like Tableau and the other many other tools that are out there so that we can really do deep level analysis on the data that our organization is creating.
Thank you for that, Karika. So data analysis, Tableau, Microsoft, whatever is like the hot button right now, or whatever the latest, greatest need. Okay, anybody else want to take on that question? Chester, and I didn't ask you about how do you engage. So either one, how do we engage with Capital Metro and kind of some of the biggest needs that you see?
So the way we engage with Capital Metro is the best way for our small business and minority business to get more information is to go on the Cap Metro site. We have https://www.capmetro.org/vendors. It gives
Okay, it looks like Chester froze for a minute, but he is saying to go to capmetro.org and you'll see the opportunities/windows. You'll see the opportunities and where to register. They also have an Office of Diversity that has certification information. The City of Austin, Small Minority Business Resources, we do the certification for Cap Metro, but they do accept us, our certification. So if you go to capmetro.org, that is the best place to go to look at the opportunities within Cap Metro. And Chris, what are some of the biggest needs that you see from some of the smaller departments and some of the larger departments within the City of Austin?
Sure, I think it's going to mirror a lot of Austin Energy because we are all the City of Austin. We partner so much. Certainly, some of the same things. Cybersecurity is a big one. That's not just the City of Austin. I think that's going to be a large sector for quite some time. And those services, those talents can be hard to find. So we reach out for those specialty folks. Whenever we need a very, very specific skill set. We're also doing a lot of analytics. I think where business intelligence was a big move for the city in years past, now it's really focusing on analytics. We have a lot of data. We want to secure it, but we want to use it better. So the data analytics side is very important. And then of course the tool sets. For example, we use a lot of Microsoft tools, and those tool sets grow much faster than even we can keep up with sometimes. So having very specialty areas where people who understand these technologies and can help us even train our staff and train our customers and end users is a really important area for us to grow in.
Thank you for that. Any success stories? Have you guys heard any success stories or any tips or advice that you would like to share with some of the business owners that are small business owners, minority, women-owned business owners, or some of the bigger ones that want to be able to like engage with you? Any tips or advice that you could share, please?
I would love to speak on that just a little bit, Linda. So, the engagement is very important. Attending opportunities like this to make those connections, important to do that and do your due diligence on our organizations. We all have websites that establish our mission and our visions. So it's important that people become familiar with that information. I think participating in other cooperative agreements like the Department of Information Resource, the DIR, Buy Board, and other similar contracts is a good jumpstart for businesses trying to engage, especially with city and state and local entities. Taking the opportunity to go to the city website and review the solicitation postings. Even if you're not going to bid, really take some time and look at a solicitation package or RFP that is posted out there. Read all the things around what we're looking for in terms of the technology, but also study the terms and conditions. Make sure that you are technically and administratively capable of entering into agreements with the City of Austin. So take some time and read terms and conditions and understand what it's going to be like to be in a solicitation, a part of a project or program with the City of Austin. We've had good success at sessions like this in the past. I had one instance where we were able to, that we had a partner who engaged with another larger partner who was at an event like this, and they were able to provide services on solicitations that we've had out there. I think it's also very important that people try directly, that direct relationship with the city or our entities, but really, if you are a very small business, it really helps to have a mentor or partner like a Microsoft or Oracle or IBM to help sort of orientate you to how their products and programs work and how they can then become a value-added reseller of that particular vendor or enterprise.
Thank you for that, Karika. Everything that you said was very valuable. And I would like to add one thing to that with my small minority business resources hat. I would like to say to the small businesses that are certified minority or woman owned, if someone asks you to partner, don't be intimidated by the opportunity. Reach out to them, let them know what you can do. Maybe you can't do the whole job, but that you're interested in doing a part of the job, and maybe the prime or the bidder can team you up with somebody else. You've got your foot in the door, you've got some experience, or just reaching out to them, maybe they'll use you on another project later. But just make sure that you are responsive when someone comes to ask about it, and follow the project if you can't do it right now. We also have someone else from Microsoft that I believe that we want to try to add them on the call, and that's Tom, if he's available right now, just to talk about some more of the partner process with Microsoft. Stephen?
Thank you, Sandra. Can you hear me okay?
Let me pull Tom in, but the other piece I wanted to mention is that, looking for areas of opportunity. Right now, a lot of agencies are getting federal funding for big solutions. Microsoft has platforms that you can develop solutions on. If you know where some of the priorities are for some of the government agencies, you potentially could build a solution, partner with Microsoft, and offer that up. Some of the funding, they're short I know in the past there were short cycles. You got the money and you had to spend it in a short amount of time, and so it was good to be able to. It's good to be able to understand what the priorities are for the government agencies and where there may be a fit for you based on where the federal dollars are going. That being said, Tom O'Neill is the partner. Tom and I work together at Microsoft. I'll let Tom introduce himself, but Tom really works closely with the partners, and he can talk more about how do you become a partner at Microsoft.
Hey, Stephen, thank you. And joining on short notice, and you all look so nice and dressed up, and I've got my flannel shirt on, so apologies for that. If we do something in a broader public forum, I promise I'll be sharper dressed. But good to meet you all. As Stephen mentioned, I'm part of our partner program, and I'm dedicated to the state and local government business. And I don't know how much you want me to cover, but we obviously, being in state and local government, I've been doing this for, I'll say, double-digit years, since I don't really want to disclose the actual number, but working with partner types of all kinds across the U.S. has always been an important part of our program. So in short, the partner program is all about providing technical and business guidance to develop and deliver IT solutions across really any industry, but of course, SLG is near and dear to my heart. And so you know, there's a program that you sign up for, and then there's a tool called Partner Center that you do all of your interaction with Microsoft in. But you can get access to technical resources, to training resources to help build the certifications of the people that work for your companies. You can get technical help building out, you know, IP solutions, software solutions that you can sell into market. When you achieve certain levels of competency with Microsoft products, you get access to those products for free to use internally in your organization. We always have different kind of incentive and funding programs going on that are designed to help our partners build skills and then sell things that we find are compelling in the marketplace. Right now, we're using Teams as a calling platform, and that's a big push for us, for example. So we have a number of incentives and technical skill building exercises going on with partners to help them build out their skills in delivering Teams and applications that run on Teams. And then there's a lot of marketing support, not only, you know, helping connect with customers, but also sort of skilled marketing resource people that help you build out your own materials and branded materials so that you can do your own marketing campaigns that are effective and so forth. So I know I'm kind of firing a lot at you, but it's really, you know, just as you look at your businesses as being, you know, you've got to develop and market and sell and support. The partner program follows that same life cycle. We want to take what we've learned in the platform technologies that we have and help you, you know, build, market, sell, and support as well across any of the types of technology platforms and business models that you want to use. So as you might imagine, you know, we could talk for hours about any one particular topic, but kind of the takeaway I want you to have is that it's whatever kind of business you want to be in involving technology and our, you know, for me, our government customers, you know, we've got a way to help you understand what Microsoft's doing, help you build skills, help you recruit and retain people, and be successful in delivering solutions. So I'm happy to take any questions, but that's sort of my my 2 or 3 minute primer.
No, Tom, we thank you for jumping into our call. And you've answered a lot of the questions that we have. First of all, I want to let you know that I've already told everybody that we have a seasoned group of professionals here, 15 to 20 years experience. We know that you are the state and local government guy with Microsoft, and that Stephen works with you also at Microsoft. And the other question, only question that you haven't answered is like, what is your biggest need right now? We've kind of talked about that with the other panelists right now. I see that Teams is really popular with everybody doing virtual meetings and a lot of virtual action, but what other needs do you see from business owners that are watching today? Yeah,
state and local government I've been with Microsoft for double-digit years. I was with Accenture for double-digit years because I love state and local government. You know, they manufacture things, they give money to people, they take money from people, they provide a lot of services to people, they incarcerate people, they do everything. I mean, some of it and all. So if you're working in financial services, you won't cover that breadth. If you work in manufacturing, you won't cover that breadth. So I've always loved SLG for that. And here's what I've been telling my partners. There's no question we have all of the CIO priorities about security and making people productive and so forth. But the biggest trends I'm seeing that I convey to our partners are 2 things. One is that just like in commercial, more and more the decisions about IT spending are moving away from the CIO's office and to the program owners' offices. So I was just on a call with a partner that does e-discovery, and the CIO certainly has a vested interest in that, but it's the general counsels and the attorneys general and the e-discovery program managers that are really driving that business. And you see that across everything, whether you're in revenue and tax or transportation or public safety and justice. More of that decision to spend is moving out into the program managers. And the second and kind of collaborative trend with all that is that we're seeing that those program managers don't necessarily say they have to be great at IT. Another way of saying that is to say that more and more they're asking for solutions that are going to support their business, and they want the companies that they're working with on those solutions to be the provider of that solution. I'm going to pay you to run my e-discovery solution for me. And by the way, it needs to integrate with everything else on my platform, like kind of that hybrid cloud idea. But you're going to be the company that's on the hook for doing this and, you know, meeting service level agreements and so forth. So a ton of the effort we have going on in the partner world is around helping partners put together standardized solutions that they can deliver to customers, and then 1 or 2 or 3 different business models that they can deliver it to state and local government in a way that they're asking for. So if the customer says, I want you to run it in your tenant, I want, you know, that proverbial one throat to choke, we've got a business model we can work with you on. If the customer says, I want you to run it, but I really need it in my tenant, like on-premise, not on-premise, but just sort of interactive in a tenant with as a cloud model, but tied to that customer, we've got a way to help you do that. And if they still want to run it on-premise, you know, I hate to use the word traditional, but we're still going to see a lot of that. We've got a way to help you do that too. So really that pushing out of who's making the spending on the budget decisions and what kind of business models they're asking for those solutions to be delivered, those are the 2 biggest trends I see in opportunities for partners, and where we're spending a lot of our time helping partners get better.
Thank you for that, Tom. Okay, now we're just going to go around and do some closing remarks. Chester, we'll get started with you. Just to tell us, and I'm sorry that we lost you a little bit earlier, just kind of tell us any tips or advice for Cap Metro, or anything that business owner needs to know about Cap Metro. That's kind of our final thoughts or whatever for today. And for those of you who are joining us and viewing it, we were going to wrap up this section, and then we'll have, at the end of this video, we'll have a moment where you can chat questions, and we'll answer those questions with the panelists that are here. So Chester, with that, let me go ahead and start with you. If you can unmute and just kind of give us like the wrap up of Cap Metro, what they need to know, any tips or advice. And I think you were starting with the website. We said that it was capmetro.org, where they could start for looking for opportunities. Thanks.
Yes, so you have a site that's geared for our vendors, capmetro.org/vendors. And we have all our information on how to get information about Cap Metro opportunities. For example, we use a service called Planet Bids. So it would be helpful for all those who are attending this talk to register themselves on Planet Bids, and that's where all our solicitation is released. And so to get to know large solicitation, small solicitation, as some of the panel members were talking about it, sometimes you may find you're not ready for a huge opportunity, but there are opportunities where you can be part of it. And one of the opportunities, one of the areas we see is potential small business vendors join in when we have a question and answer on a solicitation. So at that time, they are able to understand who else is interested in that specific RFP. And they can then subsequently reach out to them and understand, okay, I can do a piece of this. Can I partner with you? And because of our needs of ensuring that we meet certain quotas, they are open to that opportunities, and we have seen that happen again and again. So that's a good way of getting your foot into the door into those large projects. We also have smaller projects, so it's not always large projects. We have smaller projects. We also have what we call an unsolicited proposal program, and that is again, and if you go to capmetro.org/unsolicited-proposals. And there you'll find out what we do is we have an opportunity for unique ideas and innovations that are not out in the market already. So that is another opportunity where you can get into understanding of what Cap Metro is planning out for the upcoming future. And some vendors have partnered with us for doing that, those unsolicited proposals. So our typical IT procurements falls into 3 categories. transit-specific systems that either support our staff in operating our services and customer-facing systems that help passengers use our services. We also have, the second one is network infrastructure acquisitions. They include typical infrastructure, hardware like laptops, tablets, displays, servers, communication routers, and so on. And then the third one, which I'm the head of, is the Enterprise Application Data Services. We are administrative system that we use to manage Cap Metro, such as payroll, HR, financial management, website management, data warehouse, business intelligence reporting. So there's lots of opportunities, but as the different panel members have said, there are different avenues to get there. And so the first thing is, if you are interested, is to try to get information about Capital Metro by going on the site, reading about it, getting yourself having alerts and notification from Planet Bids, so you can see what opportunities are posted out. And those are the major routes. We also participate, like all the city of Austin, in DIR, and we have Buy Board and all the co-op, GSA, all the other co-op purchasing routes. So that's another way to get to our procurement opportunities.
Thank you, Chester, for that. And Karika, any final words, like 1 to 2 minutes? We'll just get ready to wrap this up on this section.
I just to reiterate, when you engage with the City of Austin and Austin Energy, just have a sense of where you want the discussion to go. Sometimes you have a conversation with vendors and they'll just want you to say, okay, how can you use this? You really need to have your value proposition together to come forward and say, here, based on what I know and understand about your organization, here are some of the things that we can add that would be of value and help Austin Energy achieve its goals. So just stay focused on and make sure you have a deep understanding of what you can offer and how that matches with the capabilities that we're looking to enable within our organization.
Thank you, Karika. So everybody hear that? Do your homework. So before you come and say, this is what I offer, make sure you've looked at their websites, you know their line of business, so that you can match with their time what you do. Chris, anything for you from the veteran side and from the business side? What do you think for CTM? Any closing thoughts?
Well, don't forget, we are actively seeking you. So it's a good deal that we're looking. So please make yourself available. Definitely we have plenty of veteran opportunities as well. We really want to make sure that we're reaching out to all communities and we're giving every business a shot. Don't forget, on these solicitations, there are also opportunities where we have vendor meetings where we call in all the number of vendors who have provided solicitations, and we talk to them. That's a great opportunity for the small businesses to be represented. They can connect directly with the folks, the larger corporations, for instance, who are soliciting towards these larger projects. And if there's a specialty need that you have, I've seen businesses of one person, many of them, they show up to those and they partner with these solicitors, and often the solicitors will all have that same small vendor as part of their package that they present for the solicitation. So it's just a great method. And though we're talking about technology, also don't forget all of the non-technology we need to make these larger projects happen. We have program management, project management. We do a lot of communications too. Communications is a big deal. We need agencies to partner with our communications folks in the change management processes and getting our citizens engaged and our residents engaged oftentimes in these areas that we don't often have a lot of resources in-house. So we look for our local partners to do that. So even if it's a large technology project, don't forget that there's a lot of opportunities for folks who aren't heavy technologists.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Chris. That's something that we don't think about very often. Stephen, we'll go with you for any closing remarks, like 1 to 2 minutes, please, from Microsoft.
Sure. I'm going to be really brief because I think what Tom has to say is going to be more valuable than what I have to say. But I just wanted to echo some of what Chester and Chris and Karika talked about, which is, do your homework, understand where the opportunities are, You know, we look for partners, and a partner is two-way. You know, I talked earlier about how we try to generate leads, but it's also partners' responsibility to also form relationships and generate leads as well. So, so do your work, and you know, follow some of the guidance that Tom provides.
All right, Tom, if you close us out, last final thoughts from Microsoft and your experience there with state and local government.
Well, thanks for that. And I think that's a great high note to go out on, which is the whole reason we would be in this business is to solve business problems for our state and local government customers. And if you don't have a clear vision on the business problem that you're trying to solve, then we should probably powwow internally a little further before we reach out to the customer and make our pitch. And Carrick, I thought your point was spot on, so I can't do any better than that. So we'll wrap it there.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us. Stay tuned now because we'll have a live chat. So if you have any questions, this is your opportunity to put those questions in the chat and we'll get them answered for you the best that we can. We will also have other reference materials for how to engage with the departments that are here, the organizations that are here, and a couple other organizations in the technology IT field that couldn't be with us today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And again, have a good day. Good morning, everyone. Hello, my name is Blender Hill, and I'm going to be your moderator today. I'm with the Small Minority Business Resources Department. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining us. This is your opportunity now to go ahead and put any questions or comments that you have in the chat. What we're going to do now is I'm going to ask all my panelists that are here with me today to go ahead and turn your cameras on. And we'll go around and have everybody introduce themselves. Once they introduce themselves, we'll have a couple comments from Art at Austin Energy, and then we'll ask Lynn from Texas Department of Information Resources to give us some tips and advice from Texas DIR. So Lynn, it looks like since your camera is already on, if you can unmute and just introduce yourself. Just give us 1 to 2 minutes about who you are. Also talk about, let's go ahead and talk about Texas DIR. We reference that a lot on the conversation in the recording and how Texas DIR, their role with IT and technology. And if you could just go ahead and share that with us as well.
Certainly. My name is Lynn Hottie, and I'm the Director of Hub Outreach and Training for DIR. And if you're not familiar with our agency, we are a Texas state agency, and we are the IT agency for the state of Texas. We implement and manage all IT-related contracts for our customers to utilize. State agencies are required to utilize our contracts, and then other customers like the City of Austin, Austin Energy, are voluntary customers, and they do use our contracts because it saves them time and money. Because we have competitively bid out all of those opportunities, those contracts are ready for them to pick up and implement and put in place, negotiate maybe pricing, quantities with those vendors and move forward with whatever projects they have planned. We currently have a couple of big procurement opportunities that are coming out. Our DBITS contracts, the deliverable-based IT services, RFO is in the pre-solicitation phase. And then we also have our CA Technologies and Lenovo related RFO that is in the pre-solicitation phase. And you can identify all of our upcoming procurements on our current contracting initiatives page. So, you know, at a high level, you heard from Microsoft, you heard from Austin Energy. I know Cap Metro uses us as well, City of Austin. All of the entities you heard from are either vendors that hold contracts with us or customers that utilize our contracts to help them fulfill their IT product or service needs.
Thanks, Lynn. Thanks for sharing that. And next we'll go to Art. Art, if you could just introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your role at Austin Energy and how you work with Carica, and any opportunities or tips for our small business owners that are joining us today.
Sure, absolutely. I'm sorry, I can't get, can you hear me first of all?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, apologies for not getting my camera working. I'll continue to work on that. But yes, I am the vendor and asset manager within the IT department, reporting to Carica Lakey under business quality management. I've been with, I guess, the team for Austin Energy for 14 years plus. A lot of our responsibilities include managing the total life cycle around all technologies, hardware and software. Also, the relationships that we have with our vendors is important to us, and the value add we do receive from our vendors, and not strictly looking through pass-throughs, if you will. I do receive many calls from cold calls, as we call them in the industry, and that if I don't have an opportunity at that time for this this individual, for this vendor or manufacturer, I do try to point them in directions where businesses or opportunities that I have heard of. So it's important that the networking is always there, and definitely Carica hit a very strong point. A little bit doing the homework and knowing a little bit about what's happening at Austin Energy through the websites, and any networking that you are doing out there, kind of take it to heart, make notes, and it will open some doors. And in fact, I do have cases where I've had people calling, and we have put them in touch with people that provided them with opportunities. And I do work quite often with hub businesses throughout some of my major contracts.
All right, thank you, Art. Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for joining us today. Chris, I don't see the chat right now to see if there's any questions there, but I'd like to know some of the things that you're working on. And I know we've talked about this a little bit in the recording, but some of the things that you're working on with CTM, or if there's anything that you feel like the business owners that are there with us today should know.
Sure. One of our largest projects coming up is our human capital management system. That's quite a large RFP that'll be coming out. So it'll have many pieces. There's lots of systems that we're consolidating into one. So there should be a lot of opportunities in that. Again, the number one source that we go to is our managed services, and especially our staff augmentation. That really never ends. We have never-ending support that we need to provide for a lot of these services that we provide. So we're always looking to see who's out there, what specialties they have. And again, we really try to provide our more local and smaller businesses as many opportunities as possible, where we're looking for those very specialty skilled IT folks. You're on mute, Blender.
What kind of projects do you usually see as far as staff augmentation? Is it software type programs, or is it hardware? Where do we use staff augmentation? And this is for you, Chris, and you too as well, Art.
Really everywhere. Right now we have a lot in our, say, network services. As we roll out computers once a year in our large refreshes, we need support as we scale that up. Security is an area we're trying to enhance, and while we do that, we look outside to fill those roles. We're doing a lot of our project management right now is one that we also supplement with support from outside, especially if it's a program or a new service we're providing that we really want the project manager to have expertise in that area. We'll reach outside. So we're continually looking across the IT spectrum to help us support our services. And as we lose people, they move on to bigger, better things. It's a lot easier for us to fill those roles in a temporary basis with some contract support. So we often look in that area. Web services is one. So we tend to do it quite a bit throughout our IT organization.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes. Art, are there any things, Art or Chester, do either one of you see anything with staff augmentation?
Yeah, it's a nonstop merry-go-round. We're always looking for very talented folks. It's hard to find a lot of talent. It's a very competitive city, very competitive world we're in, but we're always looking for expertise in cybersecurity. Karika mentioned business intelligence earlier, networking, enterprise applications. We also have quite a few people that are going on to the next chapter in their life and retiring. So with going through, it's very difficult at times to fill these positions. So we utilize the staff augmentation contracts out there with DIR. So it's an opportunity for many vendors to get their foot in the door. We have a really good program currently within Austin Energy for soliciting and managing these opportunities.
Okay, thank you. Can anyone see, any of you, can you see the chat right now? The chat question? No? Okay, Tom, what kind of opportunities do you usually partner with state and local government and Microsoft? Like, what's a typical project that you would have that you would be looking for business owners if I approached you? What kind of project?
That it's almost every type you can imagine. We at the end of the day, we have an enormous partner program, but we don't have enough partners. I would say a classic example of that is if you thought of 2020 was the year of work at home by necessity because of the pandemic, 2021 is shaping up to be optimizing work at home within an organization. So we moved out there because we had to, and now we're realizing that there's somewhere in between. There's a balance of things that we can do at home, in fact, things that we can do more effectively at home, and things that are going to be brought back into the office. So I bring that up as an example to your question, Blender. We've got a lot of demand for people now that can handle the security issues, the identity management issues, and frankly, how you use collaborative tools like Teams and Zoom and so forth to make all that work. We have an opportunity here to do some new things that have never been done before. And so we're heavily focused on training people on our platform products so partners can go out and deliver those kinds of services. You could repeat that in almost any type of industry solution, any kind of cloud, platform and administration solution. There are so many different opportunities. And frankly, we spend a lot of time on internal on our partner program on training. The number of training classes we deliver daily is, I wish I had the number in front of me, but it's well into the tens of thousands, and the demand is just there. There's an old joke I had about, I used to tell everybody, hey, if you're in IT, you're in the right space because all of our partners are hiring. And one of the partners kind of snarkily said, yeah, we're all hiring from each other. So the opportunity to grow the pool of technology resources is immense. And so we really want to focus on that skill building effort. Lots and lots of opportunity there, Blender.
All right, thanks, Tom. Thanks for sharing that. Hey, we do have a question in from the chat. And Chris, I want to start with you and then just go around Chris, and then we'll go to Chester. But the question from the chat is, how do they market their business to your organization? So we'll start off with the city, and then we'll go to Cap Metro. Then Len will come to you, and then Tom will finish off with you.
Stephen Elkins talked in the recorded part about partnering with the large organizations like Microsoft. That really helps to kind of cull through the cold calls, I think, that were mentioned earlier. We get many of them a day, and it can be challenging, especially for the folks who are trying to reach out to us. So Karika had mentioned, really doing your homework, figuring out what we have going on. You know, everything's public record. We'll see what we have out there, what solicitations, what needs we have, and reaching out. I think our procurement folks are a really great place to start. It's often challenging if you start right at the top. If you go to the head of the IT organizations, you're probably putting your email in with many, many others, your voicemail in with many, many others. But going to procurement, asking about what opportunities there are in that area. I imagine Blender SMBR is a great resource as well to see what opportunities there are to make sure that they're registered. And talking to Texas DIR, we've got DIR right here. They're a fantastic organization. We often reach out. We use their services constantly, and we use their contracts. We use their staff aug contract on a daily basis. So really partnering with these larger organizations that we already have regular conversations with is a great way.
Okay, thanks. And Chester, if you can unmute and just kind of talk a little bit about market yourself to Cap Metro, and you've got Project Connect too. If you could just, respond to that question. Chester, I still can't hear you right now. Chester, I'm going to come back to you in just a minute. I don't know, I can't hear you. Lynn, if you could answer that question, the best way to market themselves to Texas DIR.
Okay, keep in mind that we put in place contracts for our customers to use. So when you come to us, what you want to do is find out where you best fit in. You want to find those procurement opportunities. The good thing is we have a lot of procurement opportunities coming up. We're also trying to be very transparent about how we post those opportunities. So at the beginning of every fiscal year, we post all of our planned procurements from September to August. We put all of that out on our website. I believe our procurement director said yesterday we have 39 planned procurements between now and the end of August. That's a lot. DIR historically has not done that many procurements in the past. So we're moving and grooving. We're trying to put into place as many contracts as possible for our customers to utilize. So when you come to us, be able to explain what services or products you provide. We're going to help you navigate our contracts and our procurement opportunities. And if there's not a current procurement opportunity, we're going to talk you through how you comb through the current contracts and potentially partner with some of our current contract holders, because you've heard some of the individuals on this call say staff augmentation. We just awarded all of our IT staff augmentation contracts. It's a hot field, and they are constantly looking for new subcontractors to partner with. So that's an area, if that's something, a service you provide, we can talk you through how you would go about the process of approaching those contract holders. So come to my office. It's what we do. Don't hesitate in contacting us. That's what we get paid to do. Work with vendors to help you navigate our procurement opportunities and help you figure out how the state operates.
Okay, thanks, Lynn. Okay,
Blender,
Tom.
can you hear me?
Yes, Chester, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I don't know what happened there. I put in my headset now.
Okay, good.
Do you want me to answer the question, or you wanted to?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right, okay. So at Cap Metro, the best opportunity to market yourself is to first understand what Cap Metro's needs are. So if you go to capmetro.org/vendors, you'd get information there. There is also information about Planet Bits, which is our service that we use to have a listing of all the open opportunities available. And so understanding Cap Metro's business needs and reaching out to our DB officer, his name is Dipankar Mukherjee, to understand from him also what are the opportunities available in our procurement office that allows you to get a head start on what are the opportunities available. There was an earlier question about staff augmentation. So we do also have staff augmentation needs. But a few years back, we did an open solicitation for staff augmentation vendors, and we picked up 8 staff augmentation vendors that we currently use. And so whenever IT has any needs, we go through HR and we use those 8 preferred vendors that were decided upon open solicitation. And so that's, and if there is anything beyond that, if those vendors cannot meet our needs, we do look into DIR. That is another opportunity that we look at. We use DIR for sometimes small opportunities, contracting opportunities. If we want to have some professional services through any needs within IT, it could be in the network area, it could be enterprise application area. And so DIR is a great tool, like other of my partners on this panel also use. We do use that too.
Okay, thank you, Chester, for that. And that list you have, was that like a rotation list of the eight contractors that you worked on? Okay.
Yes, we do that. Yes, and that's managed by our HR department.
Okay, thank you, Chester. Okay, so we are getting ready to wrap up, so I'm going to start speeding you guys up a little bit. And this question is for Tom. Tom, we got a question in the chat. I apologize, I don't know who the person who responded with this question or proposed the question. The question is, how do I market myself to Microsoft? What would I have to do in my business for Microsoft to even consider me as a partner with a City of Austin, a DIR, a Cap Metro project?
Yeah, great question. I would start by saying the bar to get it over the hump there is actually quite low. If you have interest and your services or technology solutions provide value to government customers, and of course you put it on the Microsoft technology platform, we want to talk to you. I think you saw Stephen talk about in the opening session, one, we don't have enough partners. And as far as Texas go, he's your point of contact. Stephen and I have calls all the time about, we need more partners. We need more partners. So we do want to hear from you. I'm going to call out one program too. Microsoft itself for the past 6 months has been having an ongoing campaign to increase the number of Black and African American owned businesses that are partners of Microsoft. We want to get to 20% of our partner base are either Black or African American owned in the US. And if you go to the website, aka.ms, that's aka.ms/partner growth. It'll take you to a website that explains the program that we have going on there and how to get engaged. And when you can either go through that to get connected with someone at Microsoft or reach out directly to Stephen. I think he's pretty well known in the area here. And he can get you going either by engaging me or someone else from the partner program. So love to hear from all of you because as I said, we don't have enough partners. The demands are changing so rapidly. And as you hear from everybody else on the call today, they have really tough business problems that need to be solved. So we want to work with you.
Okay, so this is a lightning round question. And again, you guys who are watching, we do have a document that we loaded in this sequence that has the contact information and links to the people and the organizations that are here with us today. So on this lightning round question, everybody just raise your hand if you have an intern program or internship program within your organization. If it's yes, then raise your hand. Okay, so that is Microsoft, that is Cap Metro, that is Texas DIR. Okay, thank you guys for that. Okay, and then the next question that we have is, who has data migration, any kind of data migration organization, data migration projects within your organization? Anybody working on anything like that? Any opportunities? Tom, you see something? Okay, Tom, go ahead and speak to that.
So, the the biggest press that's going on with respect to data now is turning the explosive amount of data that everybody has into usable business intelligence. And so we've got lots of tools and frankly, other ISV partners that are focused on that. So how do you take unstructured data? How do you take structured data, data that's sitting within systems, data that's input by the general public, be able to pull it all in, interpret it all, find correlations, and turn it into actionable intelligence. Every customer I can think of would want to be able to do that, or they have projects going on that are focused exactly on that. So that's one of the biggest areas for us right now. If there were 2 or 3 top things that are happening, I would say one of them, we said the work at home, sort of the collaboration platform, but data and analytics is right up there, right in the top 3.
Okay, Tom, so since I have you, we're going to do closing remarks. I'll start with you on closing remarks, and then we'll go around to everybody else, and then we will wrap that up. For those of you who have submitted questions, we will still work to get your questions answered. I will continue to work with the people that are on the panels today and to try to reach out to you and get your questions answered. So with that, Tom, if you could give me 1 to 2 minutes and we'll go around and we'll just tie a bow in this. Thank you.
That's great, Blender. I'll keep it short. You know, I said on the recorded session about how much I love working in SLG. This was a classic example why. You got Chester, who's got the public transportation organization. How fun is that? You know, big vehicles, lots of maintenance activities going on, counting passengers, tracking revenue. You've got an energy organization that's in, you know, you buy energy, you distribute energy, you service customers. You know, it's such a target rich environment. Almost anything you find yourself passionate about, something's going to be happening in SLG that's going to pull you in. And I can tell you that as being engaged as I am with our partner community, that you're in the right business and we want to hear from you. So Blender, I'll thank you and for everybody that's been involved with this for the opportunity to participate. And I hope we get a lot of chances to talk with the partner community going forward.
And for those of you who aren't following us, SLG, state and local government. All right, Chester, we have a lot of acronyms around here. Chester.
In a jar, you put $1 in if you use an acronym and don't spell it out. So I'll put the $1 in the virtual jar there. Thank you, Blender.
Okay, thank you. All right, Chester, if you could give us some closing remarks from Cap Metro.
Yes, so at Cap Metro, I spoke about in the earlier video panel, it's the best way of getting information is doing business with Cap Metro. Look at a vendor's guide and our website. Acquisition strategies usually are RFPs for large complex purchases, but upgrades to existing systems might be done through sole source procurements. For large RFPs, we encourage small business enterprise to attend pre-proposal conferences for RFPs because these potential proposals are often looking for local support and assistance in delivering a solution. We also have a program for unsolicited proposals that I spoke earlier. And so the best way for you to get into Cap Metro is to keep up with the information on our site and to contact our procurement group as well as our DB officer.
Thank you, Chester. And to Chester's point on that document, I put those links in so that you can access them. The other thing is Cap Metro and the City of Austin have a partnership in Project Connect. So start looking for opportunities in that as well, because they're going to start rolling out fast and furious. We couldn't get anybody on the panel today, but look at that, and there's a link in that document. Do you want to say anything about Project Connect?
The Project Connect now is a separate entity. It's an entity that is partnered with City of Austin and Cap Metro. It's called Austin Transit Partnership. So if you Google Austin Transit Partnership, you should find the website for that. And yes, there will be opportunities coming up on that. And it's a multi-year, I think 8 to 10 years program. So it's just ramping up. So there's lots going to come up on that side too.
All right, thank you, Chester, for that. All right, thanks, Lynn. Thanks, Lynn, for being here again today, and DIR, and thank you for all the things that you do. And Lynn, any closing remarks that you would like to share?
Yeah, just don't forget to engage, or don't hesitate to engage with those resources that are out there for you. There are contacts in place with all of our offices, all of the state agencies. We are resources for you. So contact our office. We're still working remotely. So email is probably the best way to get in touch with us. But we have that information out there. We have all of our current contracting initiatives posted to our website. I know Blender included how to become a DIR vendor on the links that she provided to you. Email us, engage with us. We'll set up some time to talk to you, to walk you through that. You may not understand it when you're looking at it initially, but we'll be happy to sit down with you. I have a staff of 4 that will set up time with you to help you understand that process and then help you understand how to engage with our customers past that. So reach out to us. We are here to help you.
Thanks. That's good news, Lynn. You've got 4 people now. You guys really are growing and you're really wanting to get engaged. So I'm glad to hear that. All right, thanks. And Chris, thank you so much for your time today, Chris. And will you close us out and take us home on tips, advice, and last minute things that they need to know?
Definitely. So just keep an eye out. Look on COA procurement in particular for City of Austin. Everything we do is public. It's out there. Don't think a project's too big. There are many, many, many parts to our solicitations. We have a lot going on. We have a lot of departments. You saw several represented here today. We do a lot of work. So there's plenty going on. Technology is not slowing down. The services we provide are not slowing down. And then we need help. We don't know everything to do. We want to hear the new things that are going on. We want to hear the services you're providing. We want to hear how you're partnering with larger corporations to do innovative, great things. We do want to hear what's happening out there. So I appreciate everybody being on this call. I appreciate you making the effort to join and to listen, to see how you can help out, because we really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. And Art, I see that you're there. I don't see you on camera. I think you're still having camera difficulties, but anything you want to add, Art?
Sure. Yeah, I'm sorry about the camera problems. No, just for them to stay engaged, keep networking. These forums are great. We do take notes, and we put names with faces, and I have worked with a lot of folks that have attended these forums. Continue going to places like Vendor Connection. I do get emails and phone calls daily, multiple emails and phone calls daily. I do forward those to the right resources internally. And when the time comes, if there is an opportunity, we do meet and we do call these folks and set some times up. So your hard work is not noticed, and you being on this shows that you have a passion and a hunger for getting things done, and I thank you.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us today, and go and continue to enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you. Goodbye.